Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
I've got a quick question. So I have been setting aside, budgeting, a couple dollars every month the last few years here towards an engagement ring. I will not likely be spending that money anytime soon. And so I was wondering if there's a better option. I mean, I'm sure there is, but I was wondering what your thoughts are on a better option for, how to use this cash rather than just have it, sitting in a drawer and losing value on rising rates and everything.
So there's no one in mind. You were just saving up?
I'm single as a Pringle.
Wow. You're really looking ahead.
Hold on a second. Did you say single as a Pringle, as in like a chip?
I did.
Huh. I got to tell you, I've never heard that one before. It's very exciting. I apologize. My ADHD was flaring. Go ahead, George.
Doesn't take much to excite Ken these days.
Yeah. Well,
I like it.
I've never heard that before.
It's a good line.
But it makes sense. I'm getting it.
Thank you.
Okay. So you're saving this money for a future lady in your life. It doesn't even exist.
That is the plan. She exists in prayer and thought, and that's about it right now.
Are there other things that you should be saving for?
I'm sure there are.
Do you have any debt?
Kind of. I have
Dan.
So I
I had a sense that it just didn't add up. What do you have? What is sort of? What does that mean?
Well, I have about $41,000 in vehicle debt, and I say kind of because it's technically under I have a full-time job, but I also have a side business cleaning gum from public roadways and sidewalks and stadiums and all that jazz. And so the vehicle is technically under the business, but it is.
Dan, you signed the papers, not the imaginary business guy.
How big of a car do you need to get gum off the road?
It's a truck just to haul around the equipment.
Oh,
what's the truck worth?
The truck is worth, I checked this morning, $58,000.
And what size truck is this?
It's a 3/4 ton, so Ram 2,500.
And you need something that big to haul around the gum getter-upper equipment?
No, not necessarily. I can downsize.
You see where we're going here? All right, George, walking through getting rid of this monster. He doesn't need this giant $58,000 truck.
No, I would
for
sell
a side business that scoops gum up.
You're going to make, what, $16,000 in profit that you could then use to pay cash for a used truck?
I could, yep.
That's what I'd be doing.
Ding, ding.
Listen, if we're on a first date and you're telling me about your $50,000 gum truck, that's a red flag for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understand. Then the reason I went with I bought that vehicle as opposed to something used is just when I go to demos and meetings, I wanted a vehicle that was clean and looked nice.
Nobody cares.
When you're being presentable type of thing.
Nobody cares.
When I'm hiring gum guy, I'm not going, he better show up with a nice dually on that thing.
Yeah, I'm hiring the one guy on the planet who's going to get the gum off the street. They don't care what your truck looks like. In fact, they kind of expect you to drive. In fact, if I'm hiring a guy today to come get gum off the street, I kind of want to see the guy that's got a car with two-tone paint on it, the bumper's beat up. I go, now that's a guy
who
can
get
the gum up.
Then I go, he's not charging me for his truck payment as part of this.
Yeah.
I see a guy with a beat-up truck, I go, he's going to charge a fair price. Yeah. I see a guy with a $50,000 truck, I go, I'm getting taken to the cleaners.
Yeah. Would you consider, Dan, getting this gum off the public streets? That's a dirty job. Have you heard of this concept? My friend Mike Rose got a very popular show called Dirty Jobs.
I think I'm familiar with it, but I don't know much about it.
But would you consider what you do pretty dirty job? It's not a fun job.
You can be, yeah.
All right, my point is you don't need a fancy truck. We're trying to drive this home. So get rid of that. What's the truck payment on that?
Y'all are going to love this. About $700 a month.
There's your ring cost when we get the lovely lady interested.
So sell the truck, use the proceeds to buy a used truck. You can use some of your savings if you need a $17,000 truck if you really need it. And then whatever money's left over becomes your emergency fund, and let's start stacking money on top of that to get to 3 to 6 months of expenses. Then we can start investing, and any money beyond that, we can begin saving up for a ring in a separate account. But truthfully, I wouldn't even start saving until I meet this person.
Yeah, I agree. Because you're making enough money to where you can cash flow a nice ring. That's what we're getting at.
Yeah, clearing that $700 payment, it's not going to take you long to save up another 10 grand for a ring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, Dan?
We're talking a year and a half at that point. And you probably should be dating this person for a little while before making that kind of commitment.
Yeah. Drop the truck.
So,
you don't need a fancy schmancy truck. All right? Get rid of the truck. Keep scooping the gum. Retained earnings, more profits. Start listening to the Entree Leadership Podcast. All right?
He's got himself in a sticky situation, Ken.
Oh, there it
gotta
is,
say.
folks. There's George.
I thought it was going to be all rainbows and gumdrops.
I'm supposed to do the dad jokes, but you're dad now, so welcome.
CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.